Welcome back to Under Oath. Sitting next to me is comedian James John, my good friend who is constantly finding garbage for me to talk about.
and the people love it, though.
And the garbage. They love our garbage.
They love the garbage, man.
And they go, well, we can't wait for Jeff to get mad. Okay.
That's so
You
true.
do this, people. You do this to me.
Yeah, they do.
I'm a very calm person.
Yeah.
I am.
Usually.
And then somebody's nonsense comes up, and then I'm required to discuss other people's nonsense.
You are.
Welcome to Practice the Law.
Yes. We do it for the likes.
Or the dislikes.
Yeah, pretty much.
We should have a dislike button.
They have it now.
What is it? I don't like?
No, it's you can dislike stuff on
All right.
YouTube and Facebook.
All right. Somebody's screwing with me now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a pretty law-based guy.
Makes sense.
I like panda videos. I like the Punch.
Yeah.
It's not Punchy.
Yeah.
It's Punch the monkey with his
Yes.
orangutan.
Yes.
I could watch him drag that orangutan around that plushie forever.
Yes.
I like calm stuff,
You do.
but I'm not getting that now.
No.
I'm getting angry.
You get rage bait videos.
All I do is get that. And I'm like
Yes.
going, and you see the I don't know. I can't use a pronoun. I see something that has a pronoun in a weird way, saying crazy crap and saying that our government and the laws and everything. I'm going, dude,
you get those.
come on, you don't know
Yeah.
the law. Don't
Yeah.
do that. Let's discuss something you actually know something about.
But I love social media lawyers. They're great.
And here's I block them, and for some reason, the reels go, oh, he wants to see more of them.
That's right.
I'm going to create a safe place for all of us.
Where's it gonna? Where? Where's
It's
it gonna
going to be called formymentalhealth.com.
Love it.
And it's just going to be videos of cute animals. Because
Cats.
now I'm getting groupers eating people, like the big groupers eating things at the bottom of the ocean.
Really?
And they're all AIs.
Oh yeah.
And no AI.
Yeah.
I wonder if
Yeah.
I can kill all AI.
No. Sorry.
Because you know
buddy.
what's happening? These are just guys wanting clicks, and they produce
Correct.
4,000 of these things.
And now they do deep fake AI, so you don't know if it's real or
I
not.
don't even want to see them anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm really disappointed, and there has to be a safe place. formymentalhealth.com.
It's called Turn It Off.
Turn it off, turn it off.
Yeah,
Again. Wasn't
turn
that a
it
Phil
off.
Collins song?
No, I don't think he said turn it
Yeah.
off. It's already a thing.
It's park free. Somebody wants me to buy it. Of course.
For mymentalhealth.com.
Yeah, look, it's parked for free.
Uh-huh.
So somebody just bought it. See, this exact thing.
They're waiting.
It's AI.
Yeah.
More AI.
Yeah.
AI is buying every website now.
They are.
Okay, I'm done with this. All right, give me a question that I'm going to be mad
I got
about.
a great question for you today, man. This
Okay.
is a hard one. I'm going to warn you now.
Okay.
This is a hard one for Jeff, people. All right. Can I sue my parents? That's good already.
Yes.
Here we go.
Now for what?
Okay. I lost my hearing in one ear and I risked losing the other. But my parents refused a time-sensitive cochlear implant recommendation.
What'd you say?
Cochlear.
What'd you say?
Cochlear.
Okay.
There you go. I just learned that word today. Thank you very much. I stuck the landing.
If I was Ken Miller,
Cochlear.
I want the diet cochlear implant.
There you go. All right. They refused to get me one, and it was recommended by my doctors, and I'm wondering if I could sue them later for denying me care. It's a good question.
Negligence?
Yeah. Neglect.
It'd be negligence.
Uh-huh.
Wow, that's tough. You know, did the parents do it for a specific reason? Was it a health reason? Was it a financial reason? I mean, those aren't cheap.
Those are not.
Now, if the government pays for it, that's something else. I actually think in a situation like this, I've done this for other people.
Okay.
I said, contact the Department of Children and Families or your equivalent in your state.
Okay.
Like, for example, when Stan Lee had an issue in California,
Talk to me.
that was my recommendation. When they were claiming he was being abused by this new agent or whatever,
Okay.
I said, well, contact their version of the Department of Children and Families.
And see what
I
happens.
said, I'm not a California attorney. I'm not telling you, but I know that every state has their own version of it. So contact them and see what your rights are. And they actually came into the house and took care of it.
Okay.
So in a situation where you're a kid and you feel, and I'm not talking my parents whacked my butt. I'm talking about where you're not getting proper medical attention.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I have questions then because.
But that's not civil. That's a government agency.
That's what I was going to say.
Now we're asking about a lawsuit.
Huh.
Man, this stuff is dicey because normally you can't sue. You don't have rights to sue without your parents' support.
Yes.
So
But he did
now
say,
we have to be declared, what's it called?
He did say later, can I sue? Like he's waiting till he gets 18.
If you want to do it now, God, I guess you'd have to be emancipated.
You would.
Because parents normally need to sign off on, depending on what state you're in.
It's not like a field trip. You're like, hey, Mom, will you sign this?
You sign my permission slip to sue your ass. No. Hey, Mom. You see the kid with the little.
Yeah.
See, they don't have what we had. We had this thing. There was mimeograph paper.
Yes.
That you could stick under something.
Yes.
And it would copy the signature.
Yes.
Could you imagine sending this DocuSign? Hey, Mom, I sent you a
Sign
DocuSign.
this.
What? Wait, hold on. You suing me? Sue me, sue you.
Right? See you in court, Mom.
No more Pop-Tarts for you.
No more Pop-Tarts. There you go.
Oh,
yeah, imagine suing your parent, though. Like, that's a crazy thing. But it's happened in some cases.
Kids are crappy.
Well, certain parents need to be sued, like entertainers, when their kids
Yes.
when they were kids, child stars.
All right. They have a thing called the Jackie Coogan laws.
Talk about it.
Jackie Coogan laws applied when child celebrities or actors or musicians, their parents would take their money. Like Jackie Coogan was one of these kids whose parents took all his money.
Yeah.
So now a certain amount has to be put away. But even now, you can always siphon it off. Oh, I'm a manager. I'm this. I work for you. I mean, anytime a parent is making serious ducats off his kid, you're pimping your kid out.
I was going to say, as a parent, do you not think it's weird when a parent makes their living off their child?
Yes, and possibly no.
Okay.
Because who's going to protect a kid more than his parent?
You would think.
Your average, I'm not going to say this because I'm going to get sued. Okay. Agents, managers, people like that, a lot of times they only care when things are going well for you. I've heard many stories. I've had friends of mine whose agents drop them as soon as it's hard to get jobs and everything. And they're really there when things are going good. But when things aren't great, they
drop you.
We're off.
That's what it is.
And that happens too. So, I mean, some people have represented wealthy people. And the minute the wealth goes away, they leave because they're paid employees. That doesn't mean you can't care. But don't forget, if you're making money off somebody, you're an employee. Okay?
Essentially.
You're an employee of that person.
Yeah.
Okay? So we're also friends. I've learned in business is this. You could be friends with somebody, but in the end, you're either the one getting screwed or you're doing the screwing. I'd rather be the one in a friendship relationship who takes the hit.
Yes.
I've done that many times where I've been friends with somebody in business and then I had to go, all right, let's part friends, but I take the hit.
But there's a reason they say don't get into business with your friend because you have to make decisions based on.
Don't crap where you eat.
That's correct.
Okay. It's another word, but we're not saying
You're going to not say
FCC.
Yeah. Because when it comes to business, you got to make decisions based on what's good for the business, not for that person.
Now, can this child sue later? Depending on the state.
Okay.
Once a child becomes a certain age, he can, or she can, or they can, but it's tough. And a lot of times it gets thrown out.
Well, I do have a question though, because if you're underage and that parent's job is to take care of you, meaning make decisions based on your medical health.
Department of Children and Families.
Okay.
That's where you go.
If it comes down to my religious beliefs are that I don't receive medical help.
Department of Children and Families.
So it's still you can't be protected by religion when it comes to a safety of a child.
Well, this is tough because it's religious.
That's what I thought.
This is a devastating thing to me because I believe people should have certain religious freedoms.
So do I.
I'm from a religion where we're always on the back end about every 100 years.
Got it.
I think we're right there now, but we're always on the back end of some bad stuff. Not the Latter-day Saints, Jehovah's Witnesses. I had a paralegal.
Okay.
She was amazing. She's an amazing person. And she was a Jehovah's Witness. And she got pregnant and had a baby and lost a lot of blood. And transfusion would have saved her life. It wasn't a question. It wasn't a medical choice. It was, we don't do this. And she died. And the only reason she died.
That's unfortunate.
Was because of this failed choice. And the choice is made. We allow God to make that decision for us.
Got it.
I get it. I get it. I understand.
It's your freedom.
It's your freedom.
And you have a choice.
And when you say it's God will that you died, no matter what religion you practice, you don't follow every rule. You don't. Oh, I believe in the Bible. There are 50 to 100 things you don't do anymore. And the idea that you think it's God will not to receive medical treatment, we know that's false now. There's enough history that we know that cancer comes from this and this does this and this. Yeah. And the way we treat cancer now will be night and day in 100 years. We'll find out, oh, well, there's a pill to do this.
Yeah.
We're always learning
new ways.
The idea that you wouldn't get your child medical treatment because you believed it was in God's hands, that means, oh, well, maybe we shouldn't have DUI laws because God meant that person to run over you.
Then it becomes very slippery.
Oh, hey, everyone should carry guns. Everybody, no matter what because it's God's will. Mm-hmm. Technically, everything could be considered God's will or whatever you believe in.
True.
This happened because it was God's will. I'm a firm believer that I'm going to be judged someday. Okay?
As well, yeah.
But I don't blame God for the bad things.
Neither do I.
I give him credit for the good things. Mm-hmm. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that, so the good things that happened in my life had something to do with it. Mm-hmm. But I don't blame God when something goes wrong in my life. Mm-hmm. I also don't think that I can choose, I'm not going to get the proper medical attention. Now, I'm going to get a lot of heat from this certain sect. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry. I don't believe anybody should die unnecessarily. And if you believe that you should lose a loved one because it was the way things are, I mean, come on.
It's your choice to believe that, but if I do love you and you are of that religion, I don't want you to die.
And
selfishly,
selfishly,
I don't.
And just so you know, most courts in today's world will not allow a kid to die.
No, even
because of that.
Got it. So that was my question.
If you're in a community that will allow it, go for it. Maybe. Yeah. I'm sure they don't allow dancing in high school either. Mm-hmm. If you're living in Footloose, maybe.
Yeah. Dancing it took me a minute. Dancing in high school. It's really a very religious school or a very white one?
I don't. This is tough because a lot of people
believe firmly.
This is a tough issue because I go out of my way not to piss off half the country.
Yeah.
But I've just seen too much. I've seen too much. I've seen the law. I've seen the way it can be applied, how it can't be applied. If you can apologize every Sunday for making a mistake,
okay,
and you really feel bad about that mistake, okay. I see people all the time. They act like complete tools their whole life. Some people apologize once a week.
Yeah.
Jews, we apologize once a year.
I love that day.
It's called the Day of Atonement.
Yes.
Where we say, hey, we're sorry. Some people believe the last thing they do in life could be, I'm sorry for being such a tool.
Yeah.
And if I really believe it, then supposedly I go.
Yes, right.
In the end, what's that line? Ask for forgiveness.
Yeah. Don't ask for permission.
Don't ask for permission.
Yeah.
So if I was in that situation and my whole family felt that way, I would do it and then apologize.
Later on.
Yes. My kid's alive. I'm sorry.
Gotcha. Yeah.
My kid lived. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
Because this was a good person.
Mm-hmm.
This was a really good person. And I guarantee I'm not the only one to see that happen. And it was a tragedy. And I don't see a later benefit. Well, you don't understand, Jeff. It makes us stronger. No. Really? This child doesn't have a parent.
Correct.
And it could have been solved with one bag of blood.
Mm-hmm. It's
not even a weird thing. It's not like, hey, we did some experimental stuff with you.
No.
You bled out. You needed more blood.
That's it.
This is my partner, Craig Lind. I'm excited. We're actually in space, and that's amazing to me. I'm looking forward to the moon stuff because I've seen too many movies about that the moon's fake and everything's fake. I land on it, and then I'll go, okay, we're there. So I don't have to hear that.
Can we trust that?
That somebody landed?
Yeah.
It's hard now. I don't think we could. I don't think we could fake it now.
Yeah, I don't think we could fake it now.
No.
But do you think we faked it before?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't, because here's the thing. You and I, there are 3 of us could keep a secret. And then 4 of us have to keep a secret. Then 5 of us. There are thousands of people who have to be in on this one. You had whole rooms of people who had to be faked out. We know it can be
done. Do you know why we know it can be done?
Why?
UFOs. How many people kept that secret?
Hold on.
Thousands and thousands of people kept that secret for years.
Okay. You know
and
why?
If anybody talked about it,
disinformation.
the way that they get them to shut up is that ridicule them, even though it was true. Right. So we got the same pattern here. You question the moon landing? Now we got to ridicule you.
It's aerial phenomenon. It's not UFOs.
Oh, shut up. It's UFOs.
It's
if you grew up in the 80s, it's UFOs.
70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s.
Popular woke name for UFOs is now. It doesn't matter. They're UFOs.
If I was a UFO, I would have no desire to meet us.
Yeah, I would.
Could you imagine them going, we've been checking the Instagram. These guys have Instagram. What is wrong with these people?
What if they wanted to just eat us? What if we're particularly delicious,
I don't know,
like caviar?
No, we eat badly. I bet humans taste awful.
Oh, we would have to.
Well, there's certain things like caterpillars and things like that. I can't imagine they taste good. Humans probably don't taste good.
Well, we don't know because it'd be an alien.
Maybe we can ask Dahmer. Well, he's dead. It's always nice going to a guy who goes, what do you think about human? A little gamey. I mean, okay. I can't imagine getting that option. Here's the thing. If I was an alien, our technology has to be a lot weirder because it's all based on our weird, let's just say mental state. You know, all the porn, all the weird stuff we're into. I don't think aliens are going, hey.
What are they doing with all their free time?
What?
They're making this.
This is about having children and procreating. What is this? What that butt do? No, there's so many things that they're doing that I don't get. And could you imagine them trying to understand AI? Like the cats dancing? If you're an alien going, why do they have two cats dancing?
What is the purpose?
I believe that the whole world outside of our world, every other world, is like the church in Footloose. No dancing, no nothing. You know, they don't, they're pretty all business.
They keep all their other alien children away from Earth.
Yes.
Yeah, you hanging out with the wrong crowd, you're going to start doing things on your own.
Earth is like America to the world we're in. Like, we do more damage by just existing. Like, if you're in a foreign country that's on lockdown and they get any feed from the U.S., they go, oh, these guys are having fun. What's the deal with the blue hair? We don't do blue hair here. We don't do that. I mean, what is all these cat videos? I mean, everything. And I'm hooked. But I believe right now I'm being hunted. I'm being hunted by people who want to screw with me. Because the videos I'm getting are things that I don't want to watch. Not even close to what I want to watch.
What do you mean?
I'm getting every video I'm getting all the pro-trans video. That's all I get.
In UFO feeds?
No, on my Facebook, on my Instagram. Every time I click, there's like 50 videos in a row. And here's the thing. The algorithm is supposed to keep you off. They say, okay, how much you watch, and then it starts giving you more you watch. I try to get it off it as fast as possible because I don't want my algorithm feed to be political crap.
You're interacting with it.
I don't interact. I interact because it came up and how long you come up and their heat maps and everything. And I don't even know what I should do. I think I should just go on to like some comic book site and spend just start feeding
the algorithm different stuff.
I don't even know what
to do. Hunting, fishing.
Everything is about some political stupid thing. And I'm click, block. And you block. And the problem is this, the algorithm goes, oh, he wants more of it. You block it, but you really want more. And I think
you must have been really offended by that. You must really have strong feelings about it. So let's give it to you more.
Let's give you some more. I always wonder what we say. Because I say some stuff. And if you just take one sentence, I'm out. If you just take a sentence, and that's what people do. They cut a sentence and they go, well, that's what he meant. Because they don't listen to the second one or the third one. And they believe you can't make a thing. When I grew up, now Saturday Night Live is normally a free zone. These guys can do and say whatever they want.
Saturday Night Live used to be
hold on.
Funny.
Saturday Night Live is normally a protected group of people who they do what they want because they're on the right side of certain people. Chloe Fineman is telling a story. She's on Saturday Night Live, great comedian, great actress, fantastic. She's telling the story how when she was a camp counselor, she pantsed a kid. People are outraged. Oh my God. Too soon. I've been pantsed conservatively 35 times in my life. I think my brothers pantsed me. I got pantsed at camp. That's what crazy people do. That's what you did for amusement. Before we had cell phones and things like that to amuse us. Before cat videos, we had pantsing. How many times have you had somebody ever pantsed you?
No.
What you backed into the wall?
I made it through high school and middle school without ever getting pantsed.
How many people did you see pantsed?
I did. I saw a lot of people get pantsed. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Did anybody
I did lose my towel?
Did anybody show up the next day at school and go like postal?
No, it was just
Like, okay, we get
This
it.
is-
It's
yeah.
stupid. I feel embarrassed.
yeah, and then you moved on.
Yeah, you're going, okay.
I saw a lot of kids get their head stuck in the toilet and
Swirlies.
Swirlies, yeah, that
That's
was
a
a big
bully
thing.
stuff right there.
That was a big thing.
Now, here's the thing when I think about bullies and everything else like that. I watch too many people who have the inability to deal with adversity. And it's, the excuse is participation trophies. The excuse is he's never been punched. The excuse is he never had to deal with problems. But in the end, never having to deal with adversity, I think, is the problem. When you've never been on the bad end of something, you don't know how to react when you're there. I mean, you and I, we've been punched a lot in business. I mean, every day something weird, and you're going, what? And you know, we've got into it with other attorneys, the government, federal courts. We've been sued. I mean,
And you can always tell when you're
everything.
dealing with somebody who hasn't ever been. If you're a guy and you're just hanging out with other guys and you guys are insulting each other, because that's what we do. You can always tell the guy that's never been punched in the mouth.
no.
There's always one or two in a group, and you go, you know what? This guy, when he was growing up, the other kids did not do what they needed to do to get this guy in line. And you can tell by the way they talk and the way they act. And that's something I think that is unique to our generation, Jeff. I don't think today's generation, I don't think my son who's going to be 21 soon, I don't think he looks at other men and go, oh, wow, that guy's never been punched in the mouth before. I can tell. I don't think that ever enters his head.
I mean,
But I can tell.
I was at a convention, and this guy's girlfriend came to my booth, and I gave her some free stuff. I didn't know who she was. I just give free stuff at the booth. It's always, here's a poster, here's a free book, something else like that. Here's a keychain. She comes back about an hour later. My boyfriend says I can't accept it, and then called me a name. I was going, what? She goes, well, my boyfriend used to work for you. And then I found the guy up, and I barely remembered the dude. I think he helped me out with a book or something. And he came to the convention. He came up to me at the end of the day, like he was going to fight me. And he gets like, well, you did. I said, and if you've ever been punched before, you know, you automatically slip into a mode where you're going, all right, we're going to be fighting.
Yeah.
That other person, when they see you change, they go, uh-oh, this isn't going the way I wanted it to go. And he said something. I said, he goes, you're are you wanting to fight? Is that what we're doing here? And he goes, well, do me a favor. Let me pack up. And
Well, give me a second.
give me a second. Let me clean up because I have some stuff to do. And then I can meet you outside if you need it. F you. And ran away. Now, I had a certain personality of I've been in fights. I didn't want to be in another one. But if I was in one, I'm like, okay, well, either I get beat up or you beat me up. I don't want to. But if this is what you're doing and you're threatening me right now, I'm not going to just sit here and let you hit me with something.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem in our world. I think people just don't see things the way they should because they've never been on the bad end. It's like that attorney getting arrested. He had never been arrested before. And I could tell you for protesting something, please, I love you're out there. I love that you're passionate. I love you care. But if you're out there and you do step over the line, be ready to be arrested, because nothing sadder than when you're out there and the guy goes to arrest you and you lose your mind.
That's your goal. Your goal is to go.
I don't think they think it that way. They think it'd be cool until it happens.
If you're going to do civil disobedience, if you're going to sit in the street, if you're going to cause commotion on purpose.
There's civil disobedience and there's actually protesting. There's a difference.
I'm talking about the other kind. I'm talking about the civil disobedience.
Right.
I am so upset about this particular thing that I'm going to go and I'm going to make a big stink about it. And I'm going to make everybody's day much worse because I want them to pay attention to what I'm talking about. So if you're going to go do that, you know you're setting out to go get arrested. Why would you start resisting arrest? All you've done now is just absolutely throw your message to the side. Now, all anybody can see is that you're acting like a maniac and you're fighting with people who you knew were going to do this when you came there. That's your goal, was to get arrested.
Listen, I got arrested once in Georgia.
Did you
for
really?
Driving while license suspended. I didn't know it was suspended.
Handcuffs?
Yep. Officer puts me
I have never heard this story.
Officer puts me in the back of the car, and I want you to know something. There are some experiences that immediately change the way you feel about your life. And sitting in the back of a police car is it. When you're sitting back there, you're going, ooh, my life is not where I want it to be right now.
How did I get here?
And how do I never have this happen again? Now, if I would have gone off on this cop, it would have been horrible. There was a bail bondsman in the court, basically in the jail when I showed up, bailed me out within like an hour after being there. I didn't have to go in a cell as they were checking me in. The bail bondsman was right there because I didn't act like a bad dude. And because I didn't go crazy, it went smoother for me. So if somebody's arresting you, a lot of times they'll put the cuffs on you. And if you're not being a bad person, they'll take the cuffs off and say, hey, listen, we're just going to give you a warning this time. But if you fight the guy and you're kicking and you're doing all this stuff, it never works out. I've never seen a guy go crazy. We did criminal law for 8 years.
It never gets better for you.
In my history did fighting a police officer work out for them ever. It automatically gets you to the felony level. If you touch them, if you kick them, you slap them, you pull away and they get hit, it's a felony. It's battery on a law enforcement officer. Normally a third or a second degree felony, depending on the state you're in. It could be a different thing, but it's a felony. And you don't want to eat a felony. Misdemeanor, you can walk away from. Felonies, not so easy. Just so people are aware, I brought up the issue with Chloe Fineman, and a lot of people are going to jump back and go, well, this kid was young. The kid was pulling at her shirt too. She was, I think, 16 at the time. And kids do stupid things.
Oh, was it retaliatory pantsing?
It might have been. I don't know. But in the end, I guarantee this kid hasn't gone through therapy for the last 50 years going, oh, Lord, that Chloe Fineman pantsed me back at Pinewood.
That's been the next lawsuit.
Yeah. A little late. Well, I don't know. Certain states have opened it up, but hey, Chloe, listen, people are a little too serious. Good for you. I'm sorry you can't tell a funny story without people losing their mind. Today we have actor David Oyelowo. David, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Nice to see you.
I got to tell you, you're a brave guy. I followed your career. I've seen the choices you've made. And while some are an honor, I can't imagine taking on a role so important. And Selma, when you played Martin Luther King, I know you're going, this is an honor, but the fear you must have had, I better get this right.
Well, the film took so long to get made. I think all the fear drained out of me. It was such a hard film to get financed. So by the time we were actually doing it, I was just so relieved. It wasn't until people started watching the film that, to be honest, I caught up with the fact that, oh my God, what was I thinking playing Dr. King? But no, it was a huge blessing, that one.
I mean, but you've had a history of doing this. You came from the theater. You were with the Royal Shakespeare in London, and God, did you actually go to Stratford-on-Avon to do some work there, or was it just primarily?
Yeah, I spent several years in Stratford. I did 2 seasons with the Royal Shakespeare Company. Yeah.
People don't realize how important that is. They think, oh, it's just this company. No, this whole city is really. I mean, this is a huge deal.
It is. It's where Shakespeare was from. The whole town is sort of dedicated to Shakespeare, and it's a place where truly some of the greatest Shakespearean actors who ever walked the planet have been on those stages. So as an actor, to be part of that heritage is a real honor.
Now, a lot of my listeners and everything else, when I talk about the theater, they go, oh, no, television and movies are what we're thinking about. And they don't realize how difficult it is to start there and to transition, and the differences between acting for 5-10 seconds in a movie compared to like 3 hours on stage doing Othello.
Well, I think that's why most of what I guess we would all agree are the great actors of our time and times gone by have tended to be actors who have been on the stage, because, as you say, you can't fake it. You know, there are so many fail-safes with movies and TV. You have editors, you have marketing, you have, the smoke and mirrors of film. Not to say that film acting or TV acting isn't difficult, but with theater, there is simply nowhere to hide. And if you're able to conquer that, I think it stands to reason that TV and film becomes something that if you can master that, you're likely to be able to really tackle the difficult roles.
Now, I grew up who I thought were classical actors, the most amazing actors, and Laurence Olivier was one of those for me. And I was at the National Museum in London when he died.
Mm.
And I was thinking to myself, I said, we just lost this amazing actor. And you grew up idolizing certain actors.
Mm.
What is your connection when you go, I want to be like that actor? I loved what he did with his career. Did you ever go, I want to do exactly the same way he did it?
Well, there's no one, I would say, I want to do it exactly the way they did it, because that's futile. Everyone's different. Yeah. There are so many variables that impact the way your career plays out. But definitely, Sidney Poitier was a North Star for me, just in terms of how groundbreaking he was as a performer, but the dignity, the elegance, the choices he made, the success he had. So he was definitely a North Star for me. Laurence Olivier, I think, certainly when it came to the stage, was also someone, obviously, he was kind of before my time in terms of really knowing his work while he was alive. But to play the Olivier stage was a big ambition of mine, which I only just realized about a year and a half ago. I played Coriolanus at the National Theatre on the Olivier stage. So again, to have people to aspire to have people who their achievements are something that you can have as a rung on a ladder to hold on to as you ascend is definitely useful as an actor. But I've also realized it's futile to be preoccupied with trying to forge someone else's path. Everyone's path is going to be different.
Now, the hard thing about being an actor is your choices, like Martin Luther King, Othello. Now you're in a new movie that comes out at all the AMCs called Newborn.
Yeah.
And it's about somebody who basically was in solitary confinement for 7 years, and he's now free in the world. How do you go into a character like that? What kind of study goes behind that?
Well, crucial for me was finding someone who had endured that, because that is something, to be perfectly frank, I can't relate to. The idea of being in a room on my own all day, every day for 7 years, that I just cannot get my head around. I can barely get my head around it for a day. So I found we found a guy called Richard Rosario, who unfortunately was incarcerated for 20 years for a crime he didn't commit. 7 of those 20 years were in solitary confinement. And to talk to Richard, who was very generous with his time and his stories and his vulnerability and emotion, was my way in, really. And then there are several books on the subject matter. But the areas I could relate to Chris Newborn, my character in the film, was he's a father, he's a husband, he's a brother. And these are all relationships that play out in the film. And so those were also ways I could find into the character.
Now, I can't imagine you're reading this script and you're going, how deep do I want to go into this? And a lot of people don't realize, yes, it's called acting. But some of these characters live in you while you're doing it. Some of them, just to get hold of them, you might lose a little piece of yourself. You have a character like this who I can't imagine you lose 7 years of your life, much be alone. Movies are different. They stop and start the camera. Are you locked in for that whole 7 hours, or are you able to come in and out of it?
Different roles require different things. Playing Dr. King, that was one where I just felt I needed to stay in that character for the duration of the shoot. I did a film called Nightingale that I felt required the same thing. I'd had the privilege of acting with folks like Daniel Day-Lewis on Lincoln and Forrest Whitaker on Last King of Scotland, and watched how their dedication to the role and their staying in the pocket, so to speak, manifested in these great performances. So, that's something I've adopted as a method of my own. With playing Chris Newborn, my dad passed away on the first day of shooting. And so To be honest, my emotional makeup was so churned through the course of the shoot that I watched the film now and I barely recognize myself because I was already playing an intense role, and then I had one of the most intense things you deal with as a person happening at the same time. So, it's just one of those things. It's not how I would have had it. It's how it played out. And so, yeah, I was almost forcibly in a very specific zone playing that role. And I think, for better or for worse, it sort of manifested in the character.
That's, I mean, I started a business, and a month after my father left us, and I had to keep on a daily basis doing that business.
Right.
And I didn't get 2 weeks off. I didn't get a month to grieve. I didn't get, I don't even think I got a day or two.
Right.
And, I can't imagine having to be on stage and everyone going, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And you having to tell them, I got this, I'm a professional. I can do this. And you just mentioned you watched yourself and you didn't recognize yourself in the character when you're watching it. I mean, was it an out-of-body experience, or were you just going, God, I don't even remember doing that day? Or, God, I know I did it, but there was so much stuff going on.
Well, I feel that way about those other performances I mentioned as well, where the character requires such a level of going to the character rather than bringing the character to you. The intensity of what the character is going through is fairly heightened, even though it's real. And so I think if you're doing your job well, i.e. being in service of the character, the chances are that, and in one case I'm playing an iconic civil rights leader, in another I'm playing a guy with dissociative identity disorder, in another I'm playing a guy who's been in solitary confinement for 7 years. All things that are very far away from my own very happy life with my wife and kids. So I would expect and hope for it to feel out of body coming out of that experience, because it's thankfully, and I say thankfully even in relation to Dr. King, because I couldn't endure that many years with my life under threat, my kids, my wife's life under threat, with what he gave to the world and this country, America. So, I think it stands to reason that once I've done my job, which is infinitely easier than the people who went through those things.
A little bit. It's a little bit.
I'm quite happy to be able to say I watch it and go, okay, I went to the character and I gained myself back.
Now, a lot of actors I talk to, and some of the things I do, I hate watching myself.
Okay.
I sit there and I wonder if I made the right choices. I wish I would have done something differently sometimes. When you're in the theater and you have a room full of people and you're just hoping they love the movie and they're hoping they get what you think.
Yeah.
Is it tough or is it easy?
It's never easy because, unfortunately for me, my profession is entirely dependent on other people's opinion, which I think is not the most healthy way to live.
No, it's not great.
But I don't do what I do for myself. I get a lot of satisfaction from it, but ultimately it's in service of the audience. I personally gain a lot from watching films I've done, TV shows I've done with an audience, because it's, I think, great to understand what is working and what is not, because what you thought you were projecting is often not what is the actual case. And sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. The difference with theater is that you can feel that feedback instantaneously. Yeah. You can feel the energy in the room. You can see it in their eyes. With film, you have no idea. And so I really relish anytime I have an opportunity to watch the work alongside an audience.
Now, I have my kids, and my kids get to see me do cool things. They don't see the struggle that I went through. They didn't get to view that. When you're trying to teach your kids to say, listen, life is hard, you got to do all these things. Is it difficult for them because they didn't grow up the same way you did, because they've had a certain amount of privilege because they see their dad on the movies and they see all this, Do you do that dad thing where you say, hey, listen, it wasn't that easy. You know, there are things that we had to go through.
What I found with my kids is that they respond and react far more to what my wife and I do, not what we say. And so, despite the fact that, as you say, I'm certainly living a very different life than I had growing up. My parents were poor, I mean, to be perfectly frank, and partly because they put every red cent into me and my brother's education. But we, they worked themselves to the bone. It's partly why I was a bit of a latchkey kid and just spent so much of my youth watching TV, which is where I fell in love with acting. So, I think it's a combination of what you do and the intentions with which you do things. We try to offset every fantastic holiday or circumstance that we have with giving back. We will go to countries that are very underprivileged, and we will, be in orphanages. We will build schools. We will build hospitals. I have a leadership scholarship for girls in Nigeria. My kids are part of that in terms of the fundraising, in terms of seeing the other side of life for people to offset the privilege that they are within. And it's proved to be very effective. Travel is huge as well. You live in America, Los Angeles, where we live, and you can feel very insulated from all of that. But we've been all over the world, and my wife and I have a 2-week rule. We're never apart for 2 weeks. That means the kids had to come everywhere. And so they've seen a lot of the world, the good, the bad, the ugly. And I think all of that stuff, the doing as opposed to the saying, I think is the big difference.
Now, a lot of my audience doesn't realize that you get offers, but you also have to pay the bills.
Right.
So sometimes that offer comes where it has a nice check on it, but you're going, I really got it. It's a great offer, but I don't want to do it. How tough is it for you when you get handed a character and you're going, there's not enough here, but, I got the light bill to pay?
It's not tough for me personally. I'm a man of faith. I'm a Christian. I have always had, or I've always tried to operate more from a place of faith than fear. And I think anytime you find yourself leaning towards something where your gut, your instinct, your conscience, your morality is telling you that's not the way to go, if it's fear driving that decision, I'm pretty good at walking the other way. And I've found it to almost always be rewarded by something better that comes along, or even just the peace of mind that comes from not taking an opportunity that is going to make it harder for you to look yourself in the mirror. And it's one of the things that is the most empowering for an artist is the word no, and I truly believe your no's clear the way for your yeses, both in terms of when you're rejected or when you are rejecting something. So as time has gone on, it's become easier for me to say no. It also helps that, my wife and I have our own production company. We have our own streaming platform. We're distributing Newborn ourselves. We did that deal with AMC directly. So, we are now gaining the ability to be more in the driving seat of what we choose to do and how we choose to do it. That has come over time. But I think that's also because we've been quite good with what to say no to and what to say yes to.
Well, this is the selfish part of the show where I have a 20-year-old daughter in theater school, and I've asked some of the best producers, best directors, and best actors, what do you think the most important thing as an actor to get under your belt to have a long career?
Well, I always say to young actors, the difference between good and great is hard work. You can be as talented as can be, but if you're not prepared to put the work in, you will dry up. The opportunities will dry up. The talent will only get you so far. And the other component is kindness. I've seen so many talented actors who their insecurities or their fears have led them to be unkind to people. And it's a hard day's work being on a film set. And at some point, people are just going to get tired of you if you're not a kind, compassionate, considerate person, and you'll just stop working. So, the hard work and the kindness, I think, is the key to a long career.
Well, with about 2 minutes left, the movie Newborn, it's going to be in AMC theaters, only AMCs. They can't go to anything else.
Right.
They have to go to AMC. And then after that, where will it be?
Then after that, you'll be able to see it on all your platforms. It'll have the pay window, the PVOD as we call it. It'll probably end up on a streaming platform at some point soon. There will be an opportunity down the road for everyone to see Newborn. It's currently in limited release now in theaters, but please check it out when it happens upon your screen.
And how can they follow you on social media?
Oh, my name, David Oyelowo. That's my. I'm only on Instagram, so just my name, David Oyelowo.
Well, it's great talking to you, David, and good luck with your company. Good luck with future projects, and I can't wait to see you in this.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This was a lovely conversation.
Well, that wraps up today's show. I'm attorney Jeff Kaufman. Thanks for joining us. Special thanks to my two co-hosts, my good friend, professional comedian James John, and my law partner, Craig Lind. This show is sponsored by Kaufman Lind. If you or someone you know has been in an accident, contact us at 407-500-JEFF or 407-500-5333 for a free consultation, or visit us at whenyouneedus.com.